Hello, everyone. My name is Reto. I'm co-founder and CEO of TestingTime. I'm here with Henrik, CEO of Lookback.
Hi, everyone.
It's really great to have you here for our second webinar. This time we do a little deep dive into Lookback. I can't get you any closer to a great user research tool like Lookback. Together with Henrik. So there will be a Q&A at the end. Feel free to ask your questions in Zoom. There is a little button somewhere and you can upload existing questions so you don't need to ask the same question twice. There will also be a little goodies or offer at the end, so stay in and follow us through. This webinar is going to take about 45 minutes. So, and why did I organize this webinar together with Henrik is because we met about 3 years ago, right, Henrik?
Yeah, something like that. Time flies.
Yes, I was in San Francisco, traveling in Silicon Valley, and I just contacted you and I said, yeah, we are actually meeting up in San Francisco or in Mountain View actually, and come by, and this is how we got started. So Henrik, who are you and who is Lookback?
Right. So yeah, I'm Henrik, a Swedish guy now living in Montreal and running a remote organization, Lookback. We are across Europe and the US. And here in Montreal, I'm the only representative, so I'm trying to keep the Canadian strong here. Lookback is a user research. I would say we used to be a user research tool for recording sessions, and now we are growing into being more of a place where your entire team can come in and talk about and learn from UX research insights. So it's a Swedish company from the beginning, and now we're based on the West Coast, down in Palo Alto.
Nice. And so you are a remote team by nature. So the whole working from home has not been a big issue for you guys. How did coronavirus affect you as a company, or if it affected it at all?
Yeah. So I mean, we have been remote from the start. We have been remote, for years, and we're fully remote. So everyone has their setup at home, but I think even for remote companies, the virus has hit. Everyone who has kids, for example, the schools are closed. So yes, we're used to working from home, but our kids are normally not home, running around everywhere. So at any point now, my two kids might run in here, and I'll have a calm conversation with them about going downstairs and making me a coffee. So that's been a distraction for everyone, and also the people worry. People are in different places. So I'd say for us as humans, I think we're privileged in the sense that we have the remote setup already, but everyone is going through this together. So that's it. As a company, we've seen a big influx of people, and also a change in the way that research is being done. So it used to be that in-person research, so people doing it in the same room as someone else, that used to be slightly the most popular mode with Lookback, but now it's just that curve has just dived and the remote curve has gone up. So researchers are doing their job. I have the data to prove that they're socially distancing. So those are about the two things that I would say about that. Yeah.
That's it's really great to hear. That's also one of your strengths about Lookback. You basically supported all the different formats from the beginning, whether it's an in-house session you recorded with Lookback, or remote, or even like unmoderated. But we will dive into that a little bit later when I do a product demo with you. Maybe I'm going to share now quickly the screen, because we're going to move to that anyways. So just 1 second. All right. Good. So for those who don't know who we are, just a quick intro. We are a test user recruitment service, been around for over 5 years now, have a large panel of over 400,000 test users. one of our USPs is super fast recruitment, and we are basically doing business in Europe. And we have worked together with Lookback. I mean, we have a partnership in a way. This is one of our recommended tool, and we don't have like a technical integration, but we just work very smoothly together, and that's what we're going to show you later. And one thing which we both of us really share is the philosophy how we build our companies. It's like when I met you, and this kind of stroke is like, well, you know, there are players out there which kind of provide a full integrated solution. I mean, we can name it like usertesting.com, UserZoom. So, and the both of us, we, like you guys, focus on the research tool to capture the session, the usability test, to analyze it. And we focus on the panel. And what we kind of share is we stick to our trade and make this the best possible. And what I want to ask you, like at the moment, our customers are looking into these different solutions to do remote research. And now on one hand, we have like simple video conferencing tool like Zoom or Google Hangout and so on. On the other hand, we have these fully integrated solutions, and in the middle is sort of the combo of the two of us. And how do you see this world, and why do you believe our solution is the best at the moment?
Yeah. Well, so I mean, I'm actually very happy that there is this variety of tools, because everyone's different, everyone has different needs. So it's good that we live in a world where we can find a lot of options. I think that's good for researchers and companies in general. For us, I mean, it's like you put it. We realized early on that we're really good at this one thing, and that thing is really hard to do. And I think there's always this push to go and create a full solution. Sometimes that's driven not by user-centric reasons. Sometimes that's driven by your VCs telling you that you should go grab this market and this market and this market. And we've never believed that that's the way to do it. We want to do what we do really well. And then if we can partner with companies who also do what they do really well, so in your case with recruitment, then that's going to be better for a lot of end users, not for everyone. Some people need a turnkey solution, fire and forget, even if it's not the best video and the best recruitment, it's going to do the job, so that's up to everyone to choose. But that's what I think is the strength of the combo, is that each part is going to be much more focused built.
And like, if you compare now, we have many customers that just use a simple video conferencing tool. And how would you say in like a few words, what is like the really the advantage of using Lookback instead? Yeah,
so that would be that we've been purpose built from day one for the UX research session. So the way that we built our virtual observer room, for example, means that the participant won't see observers joining. They won't hear them making noise. They won't distract the researcher. The way that the participants sign up is also custom built with to be smooth and not marketed and all of that stuff. We don't want them to feel like they're going into a lab. We want them to just feel like they're using their product. So when you purpose build things, they get better at that thing, I would say.
And we will certainly show some of these advantages in a minute, but just to kind of support your point about observers, there was on Monday, I participated as a test user. This also happens once in a while. I cannot, I signed an NDA, so I cannot say who it was, but they used Google Meets. And I mean, everything was there basically, like the video conference, I had to share my screen with them. But what really kind of irritated me suddenly, like there were 4 observers popping in, and they appeared, well, they turned off the video, but they appeared like how you appear in a video conference tool. It irritated me as a test user, and that's the nice thing about your observer mode. Nobody knows there are observers, and so that's really cool. So let me jump into a quick demo. So do you guys still see the screen? All good. So I already logged into Lookback. We also use it here at TestingTime. That's why there are a lot of projects. I prepared one, but just to show you how you can start a project, it's very simple. You go into new project. I just name it test. And so what I really like here, you support like the live share. It's a moderated version. And I know from our customer base, before Corona, a lot of in-person sessions were held, but also some customers with the remote. Like 2 weeks ago, we had a webinar with one of our customers and they used the live share remote version, moderated version. I personally used also once the unmoderated version. I know you told me like we never really built Lookback for unmoderated study, but it somehow happened, and now you're working on a task-based solution. Can you say a few things about this?
Yeah. So we've always supported all the modes. I mean, Lookback originally in 2013 or whatever was built to replace the lab, right? Back then there wasn't any remote moderated. It didn't really. You could call people on the phone, I guess. But so we come from a place where we have all the tools, but we early on went into the live share. We were the first, I think, in the market to build a live product where you could moderate remote. So that's where we've been strong, and it's pretty tough to do it right. So we're staying there. You can still do the self-test though. It's not as good as right now it's not as good as the task-based where you get guided step-by-step guided tasks. It's more an instruction. So but we have built guided tasks right now, as we call it, so these step-by-step things. So that's being released for desktop very soon and for mobile later this spring.
Cool. We're gonna demo now a remote moderated live share session. I guess this is the most pressing version at the moment in this time. So I'm just going to start it. And here I have a lot of optional messages which will be presented to the test user before they start the session. I'm not going to fill it here. I would just fill in like the Amazon, for example, if I don't know, is it like this? Yeah. If I would test the Amazon web page or whatever test object, and I think it doesn't matter. People can come with InDesign prototypes as long as there is a URL to be accessible.
Any open URL is going to work. Yeah.
Okay, good. So this basically, you would just start a project like this. You fill in some of these messages, and then you basically save it. And if you go back, you could actually start now your live share. For this, I already shared a link before, and
yeah. So the way it works now is that the live share link that you see there next to the edit button. If you open that modal, you have 2 links, and this is how it works. So if you're using TestingTime, and I'm sure you're going to demo this later, you just put this link into the flow, right? And you also have your link for observers, exactly. And that's how you start the test.
Yeah, that's what I'm quickly going to do now. I'm going to open TestingTime now. What I will do is all you need to do now, if you can prepare this ahead of time. You don't even need to know all the details because you can update the Lookback project with the details later on. But all you need is this URL, and this is how you go in now into TestingTime. You basically start the price calculator. The first step, you do your regular how many people use a test. You can do like adjustment to your target group. You can even do like, they need to shop on Amazon or whatever. The standard things here, you go on, and here is like where you say remote moderated. I just put in Lookback. And now I paste this link. That's pretty much it. Here you can give some additional information. I just say now TBD, but basically you set up now the duration. I want to do this like, let's say next Thursday, during these time slots. Now we have your quote together. For some of you, this is probably a very normal thing. Now you have set up the TestingTime quote. You can order it now or save it as a quote and order later. For those not in Switzerland, you will of course have a euro pricing or a pound pricing in the UK. So we have like different currencies. And what you get at the end is, I show you an example, is sort of a lineup. This is just like some dummy data where you see the people we scheduled for you. And these people now will get that URL, and they will be even reminded before the session at 11 o'clock. Uta will join on that URL and participate in the session. And of course, if something is wrong, you always have a phone number. You can email, you know about the profile. And this is, again, just an example. You always have like a customer success person who helps you out if there are any troubles. And we also discussed, Henrik, that we should join forces in like some troubleshooting thing. Your customer success team works closer with ours. What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, I think that's what these, to have these combos successful without going, full integration, which is not easy to do in a good way, or it's diminishing returns on that anyway in terms of what it will actually benefit the customer. But if you can train each other's success teams and just be aware of, because customers are not, sometimes when they have a bad experience, they're not going to know, oh, that is the look back part of it, or that is the testing time part. They don't know, right? So they just want to fix right now. So I think companies like ours can do a lot to help with that.
What we saw is, like, since we announced the partnership, the expectations went really high that this has to work very smoothly. And at the end, we always said, look, this is not a deep integration. We are just working together, and we tie our systems together through this one URL, basically. And what we're working on right now is like some support pages with a step-by-step guide for both sides, the customer and the test user, because they're quite a different experience. And then also we will reach out to you guys in the future, maybe with a Slack group or so, to really make this as smooth as possible. Let me now go back to this demo. Now, our dummy test user is already ready. And this is how it appears. So let's assume the first person open now the link, and I just now get this session started. It does a quick camera microphone check, and now it will connect me with Janine. She's one of our team members. And so we should see her video there. And basically, this is the Amazon use case. Hi, Janine.
Hi,
and the cool thing is now we can get started with the session. I mean, she just opened the URL, and bam, it appears like this on my side as the researcher. We can now here discuss. I added Henrik as an observer. We can, all the observers and the moderator can discuss in the chat about findings. Everyone can add notes here, timestamp notes, of course. And I wanted to add this, end the session now. Can you please also now come back in through the iPhone, just to demo how easy it is to do this same experience through an iPhone? Actually, it's really cool. So I'm going to end it here. And what's also really cool is you can immediately watch the video of this previous experience. So, I mean, there's no processing time. This is amazing. There's some magic, right?
Yeah, no, it's good engineering.
It's really cool.
Basically, we don't do it. There's always a trade-off here. Either you process all of this stuff and people have to wait for their video, or you can process it on the fly. And we always find that people want to do it now. You have engaged your stakeholders. That's what's so cool about live moderated. They're already there, and you want to start going right away. You don't want to wait. So that's how we built it.
And this is one of the important things, a thing which I always recommend to customers. Always build in time right after the session to debrief with your observers and put in the findings. You can now go in and timestamp things and add more comments and analyze it, because it's really fresh at this time, and this is why this is so great. The video is ready and you can start put in the findings, and you don't lose any of those hot moments, or you don't need to watch every single second again.
And if you go down now, you can see that all the you have a timestamp, the notes you can make. If you open the chat there, you will see the notes that we took during but next to notes in the middle of the window there, above where you can write. Yeah. So there you see this is timestamp, so you can actually go to those moments where I said that you're a great moderator.
Okay.
You can go there, and that plays from there now. So
all the observers and the cool. So now let me go back and just demo you. Janine is now ready on her iPhone. I just do the same thing. And this is actually really amazing. There needs to be an app installed. The app is called Participate. But once you have it, you just open the exact same participation link, and this is what you get. There is Janine again. Now,
welcome back.
Now, can you just quickly go on browser, and voila, it opens the link, and we can start the usability test just the same way with the chat, with the notes, and everything. Maybe just to show how cool it is, can you go on the on the desktop of your phone? It streams basically the whole iPhone, and I find this a really cool experience. It stops the video, but once you go back into Participate, we are back. This is really cool.
thank you.
Thank you very much, Janine.
Thank you too.
And I end it now.
Bye.
Hi.
So, same thing here. You can watch it immediately, and I think this is one of the strong points. I mean, it's also like a great solution to do remote testing on a smartphone. Does it work on all the smartphones? Is it an iPhone thing, or it also an Android?
So it's Android and iPhone, but you have there are two different apps. They work a little bit differently. What we saw here now with iOS, they have a different security infrastructure, as everyone knows. So you can't run two apps at the same time and things like that. But we're trying to keep the experiences as close as possible to each other.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So this is basically the whole magic, how you can work from home now to user research. You go and you set up a project in Lookback, and you go on TestingTime, and you use that link to order test users, and that's pretty much it. Before we go into the question and answers, can you talk a little bit about what's coming next? I mean, what are you cooking, and what new features are coming?
Yeah. So we are the most exciting thing is that guided tasks are now coming to Lookback. So you will be able to do all kinds of unmoderated testing as well. Then we built transcriptions, automatic transcriptions, and things like that. And we are releasing it's kind of hard to summarize, but or to talk about them concretely, but many small little changes that will make it easier for you as a researcher to get engagement from the rest of your team with the insights. And that's in the end of the day, that's what matters. You do research and no one reads the report.
You're
not going to get better products. It's just going to be frustrating.
I have seen a lot of new tools coming up on that analysis side, like to actually analyze findings and report on it. There are new ones also in Europe. Are you working on partnerships on that side as well, or?
Not yet, but I mean, I'm open to all of that. I think it's great, as I said, that we have all kinds of people being very good at specialized things. For us, we've always believed that the researcher is the person who is the best at doing the analysis. So we're trying to help the researcher get to the analysis part quickly with good raw material. So, but there are depending on what you need. We have so many customers that do this in many different ways, and whatever works for you. We're just trying to make it smooth.
Really cool. So we now have a few questions coming in. So actually 15. So I need to get organized a little bit. There's so many windows here popping up. It's not always that easy. So the top one is, hi, is Lookback as a Canadian company fully EU, Germany, GDPR compliant? Where is the data stored? This would be a mandatory prerequisite for us to use. Would be great if you can tell something about that.
Yes, great. So actually, we are from the beginning. We are a Swedish company, and we are now based in the US. So, but we are fully GDPR compliant. One of our co-founders, Carl, head of security and privacy, he's Swedish, and his father used to be a fighter pilot engineer for the Swedish Air Force. So he dreams about security and privacy. So this is, we can never do anything. So you're safe with us.
So there you have to prove. We also get that question asked a lot, and we also did our homework, so we are also GDPR compliant. It's a really serious topic here in Europe, and for us, it's with our standard core service, it's easy because we own the data. We just have to make sure we treat the test users according to GDPR. We are going to release a new product, or actually released it yesterday, the TestingTime private pool, where we manage our customers' data. And that's a whole different level. There you need to sign contracts, sub-processor agreements, etc. But glad you are also working with it. And Christian says,
and sorry, I didn't answer the part where the data is stored. It's in our AWS Ireland. So
okay.
Europe.
Okay, good. So next question from Thomas. In the help section, you mentioned multi-language support is on the roadmap. Not having the interface in German or Italian and French is a main reason not to use it for now, because many users do not understand English. Could you tell us about when this feature will be available? I like this one. It's really something I would urge you to do.
Yes. No, look, so there are two steps to this. One is to make sure that it can actually be built into the apps, and we in the participate apps, right? So that is possible now because we rewrote all the apps last year. And so the second step is to then translate. We have done this in Swedish just to make sure that it works. And now we are talking about doing English and Spanish. I haven't heard anything about Italian right now, but we definitely do want to do this. For now, you can, with the instruction messages and the welcome message and stuff like that, we find that a lot of people can use this with users who are not Anglophone. So we have a lot of usage in South America, for example, and people just write the instructions. You can write the instructions in any language, and then the rest is pretty intuitive. So, but yes, we will get on it.
Yeah, and how we operate in 3 languages down to customer success. It's like German, English, and French. And what you can do when you order on TestingTime, you can actually select 2 languages. So has to speak English because I'm going to moderate in English, but the prototype is in German, so they also need to be fluent. This is how we solved it. For us in Europe, or even in Switzerland, it's a very normal scenario. That you need to kind of be able to do it in 2 languages. But yeah, would be great if you worked on that feature anytime soon. Next question from Frederick. Can you show finger taps on mobile devices as an overlay for iOS and Android? I just jumped away.
Yes. So you can for iOS, it's automatic, and you can do it because of the security infrastructure. Finger taps will disappear if you go out of our participate app. So this is for browser testing and stuff like that. If you do an app test, it won't show. For Android, that is temporarily out now because they changed their security, which is a good thing. So you can't just get these now without putting the phone in developer mode. So that's temporarily not possible at the moment.
Cool. Thank you. Next question: is it possible to test native apps?
Yes, but with the restrictions I just said. So as long as it's on the phone, it can be tested.
Okay.
But on iOS, because you're out, our app will be backgrounded, so we can show the screen and you can hear the voice, but you lose taps and you lose camera.
Okay. A few more. Will it be possible for participants to use Lookback completely without a browser add-on? This would make it even easier for less tech-savvy persons to take part on platforms such as Whereby offer the possibility already. We talked about this, and it's a good question.
Oh, great question. I mean, we debate this over coffee every day, me and the CTO. But basically, there's the trade-off is this: if we do it without an extension, we lose control over the windows, and we've tested this, participants get so confused, where's the window, where's everything, right? But if we do it with an extension, some people won't be able, either they won't have permission to download the extension. So perhaps in the future, there will be 2 versions. But right now, we don't have the capacity to properly support 2 versions. So we're going with the one that we think has the least negative impact.
And we have discussed about this during the dry run, right? The question is, like other providers, they kind of have like this setup test, a tech check with the test users before they get started. And we also sometimes think, like, should we just take a few test users and prepare them for...
Evers pappa sitter i möte, okej? Så du får gå ner för att jag sitter i ett möte, gumman, okej?
Hello!
Du vet, det är jättemånga som tittar på dig nu. Pappa sitter i ett möte med hela internet, okej? Hej då! We say you, bye bye!
That is the proof it's real and it's live.
There you go. So, sorry, what was the question?
No, it's about, and because we had these issues with our customers, like some setup issues, and it's like, should we actually do a setup test? I strongly believe these tool providers like you guys should become the most user-friendly, and this shouldn't be an issue. It shouldn't be necessary to actually brief and onboard test users, because you get them biased on technology and you turn them into professional testers, and we don't want that. And that's why, in a way, we don't want to brief them. We can give them support pages on how to install it, but we don't believe we should do this. But it also requires that the tools are really getting super user-friendly with that thing.
Yeah, I mean, for our bet here has been so we're the only tool in this area that has actually our own infrastructure from end to end. So we see everything that's happening. I mean, we're never looking at content, but we see telemetry and stuff like that. So, you know, we can troubleshoot what happened. Usually if something is wrong, it has to do with the network environment. People might, you know, we have a free trial, 14 days. Try it out first. Don't sign up for a new tool without knowing how it works and then start a massive test in 15 countries, you know. So, but we can help you out with that. And the participants, yes, we have some things that we're shipping soon that will help with that. But this, again, our testing suggests that then you get a longer flow, right? So it's longer for the participant to get this done. And then they might change location anyway. So, you know, they get the first scheduling and it says you have to be on good internet. And they're like, yes, we're on the best internet money can buy. But they're clearly in a coffee shop now because they didn't have time to come home for the test. So, you know, there are all kinds of interesting things that happens there, but we're working on it for sure.
Yeah, and we use like this support pages. We also tell them to do all this good internet, quiet background. Still, I recommend our customers to book an extra 50 minutes. We now, during this transition to more remote studies, we even now give away free jumpers whenever possible. So that means always someone is now ready to jump in if like you don't get the setup going or something is not working. Then our customer success will just provide jumper, and we will now do this during this Corona transition phase to make it as smooth as possible. So
just a final note on that, because I think this is a key struggle for a lot of researchers. You know, so I actually sit and support myself, and I do a couple, not all the time, but you know, I talk to our customers every week, and I have a pretty good overview of what's happening. And you know, we have thousands of these tests running all the time. For most people, it's very rare that there's an issue. but some people tend to have a lot of issues, and it can be their network environment, or it can be that they're recruiting just in challenging, some participants don't have the right, the same conditions for success. And in those cases, I encourage you to always reach out to, people like Reto and myself, or our companies, because we can help. So don't fail silently. Tell us, and often we can do something about it.
Yeah, that's why we always tell our customers, always rate the session, because that lineup I showed before, you can go in and rate the people afterwards. And even if it was a technical setup, we need that information so we can actually help, but not saying anything. This is the worst for everyone. So good point. Let's do 2-3 more questions. There is one from Sarah. Hi, are you able to switch between different URLs? For example, if you want to test multiple prototypes in one session.
Yes, you can do this, and that's depending a little bit. If you do a live moderated test, you can use the instructions panel in the setup. I don't know if you remember when Reto did a demo. That's actually why we have instructions also for moderated tests, which seems a bit weird because the moderator is moderating the test. But we found that sometimes you want to switch up. So use the landing page URL as your first landing page, and then any other URL, paste them in the instructions and instruct them to go there, and it's going to work perfectly fine.
This is exactly when I created a new project before. There were like these optional message boxes, and that's where
you have a welcome message, you have instructions, a landing page URL, and then you have an outro message where you can say thank you and stuff like that.
Cool. Oliver, so every participant receives the same link, right? How do you ensure that participant number 2 is not entering the session of participant 1? Is it ensured only one participant can enter at the same time? That's actually a good question.
It is, but yes. So this is the magic of doing links, right? So there's one participate link per round. So a project can have several rounds. So you can use multiple methods, and there's one participate link for each. And for a live share, it can only be, it will enter your dashboard as someone waiting in the same round, but it will not enter the live session that you're in.
And I would say this is yet another advantage over like a basic video conferencing tool, because I actually experienced that someone just jumps into that whereby session or so, and here you're just on the waiting list, and once the session is over, you can now go into the next one. That's actually also
so rooms are always created upon the handshake between the moderator and the participant. So this has some other disadvantages. There's no room to wait in, for example. Some people don't like that, but it has this. It's secure, and you will have one at a time, and then a queue that waits without having to send different links.
Gabriela asks, can the testers read somewhere the tasks we want them to perform as a reminder? I guess it goes back to that welcome setup message.
So that's the instruction message that is always available. I mean, on desktop, it's going to stay next to your screen, so you always have it accessible. I think the weakness with Lookback right now is that we don't have that guided step-by-step. So it's not like first do this and then the old instruction disappears and you get a new instruction. That is coming soon. We have it for desktop now for our enterprise customers, but right now it's just a list. So you have to have the whole list. So that's a bit of a disadvantage, but you can definitely do it.
Okay. Let's do 2 more, and then we're gonna show you.
This is fun.
Huh?
This is fun. Good questions.
Yeah, and good answers, actually. So far, we could answer everything. So from Sarah, are you able to display screen movements, especially on smartphones? So you have click or heat maps showing the thumb movement. You're looking for this option since remote moderated user testing doesn't allow to observe the thumb movement as we would when doing in-person testing.
So you can see we don't do any tracking after. It's all visual, so you have to actually see what they're doing. But you will see, and especially on iOS, we have a very sophisticated. You will see the angle of the finger and how hard they push and all of that stuff. So that shows up, but it's not tracked after as a heat map or anything like that.
Yeah. How do participants know that they need to download the app? I guess this is part of your onboarding procedure, right?
Yeah, it's in the participate link. So you saw the link you sent, you click that. If you have the app, you go straight into the app. If you don't have the app, you go to the App Store. And then it also takes you through making sure that you know that you're being filmed and all of that stuff, and that you agree to the term of use and privacy implications and everything. So there's an onboarding flow that we haven't shown, but it's going to take you through this entire journey.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So there are many more questions coming in. I need to cut it, but we have now, once you leave the webinar, we redirect you to a form where you can actually submit your remaining questions, and Henrik and I will sort it out later and email to you the answers. Actually,
I will answer every question, I promise.
This is really good. But we don't want to leave anyone out here, but the time is coming to an end, and we will reply to them later on. So let me share the screen again. So because I was talking about some offerings, so your offer still stands. I verified with you, and I hope you see my screen.
I don't see your screen actually, but it might just be me.
It's still counting down here. That's I need to choose a window. So now you should see it.
Yeah.
Cool. So you still have like the extended trial. I find this really great because, as you said before, try it out, and if you need more than 30 days,
it's 14 days initially, but we will extend it, no questions asked, during the COVID mess, because we just see that a lot of people need this now, and we want it to be easy to to try it out. So no questions asked. If you need more time, tell us, we'll give you more time. You know, if you think it gives value, please pay for it, because I have people to pay. And also unlimited observers. So observers are free. They're your stakeholder seats. So you pay for your researcher seats, but then you can have unlimited observers. This used to be capped on all the self-serve plans, but we want you to be able to share your research without going into the office with a PowerPoint, etc. So please use as many observers as you want.
Cool. And you can read more about it on this link, which we will also share with you. Now, we also have an offer. We want to push that you use Lookback. So like our last webinar offer ended end of March. Now we have a new one, just for Lookback studies. Till the end of April, you get 20% discount on the recruitments on our side. We don't have a coupon system, so just put it into additional information window, or reach out to us through the website or your contact, and we will apply the discount. And we really just want to use this combo because it's really great. It's a great thing. Also, feel free to go on our website to download a guideline for moderated user tests if you need a refresher. It's a really good guideline which we have been using since many years, and it's good stuff. It's for free to download. We have also a user testing kit if you need to prepare your moderation questions and your analysis afterwards. Actually, I use this when I used Lookback myself. You have some really nice spreadsheet to put down the findings and kind of quantify them. So also for free to download. And this is something, from the last webinar. Basically, this is it from my side. Henrik, is there any last thought you want to share from your side? I'm going to turn off the thing here.
Yes, please take care of yourselves. It's crazy times. Slow down if you need to, and you know, if people won't let you, then tell them to call me, and I'll make sure that they will come to their senses, because this is not working from home. This is working from home during a pandemic, and we've never seen anything like this before. So that's it. And also, Reto, this was fun. Thank you. You're a great host.
Thank you very much, and it was super interesting to chat with you. And I strongly believe more than ever in this combo. We share the same philosophy, and now I realize during this pandemic time, it's working better than ever. And I also, from my side, we are here to help. This is one of our most important things. Is we don't want to sell you anything. We actually want to help you do your job, user research from home, and this is where really why we do this and where we want to help you. So thank you very much, everyone who participated. We will share some follow-up information. Henrik, all the best.
Yeah, you too.
Thanks for your time. It was really awesome. Thanks for joining.
Thanks for having me. This was fun. Have a good one, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.